The Walking Dead on our streets, the raw reality of safe supply in St. John. Well, I see we have homeless encampments popping up randomly in our neighborhoods, and I imagine a lot of local residents are getting pretty nervous. Let's be honest. These aren't just places for people to find shelter. Too often, they become hubs where people openly use drugs, get high, sleep it off, and then get up to repeat the cycle the very next day. There is absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to help people who are homeless. But there is a major problem with a system that allows people to continuously abuse taxpayers, our communities, and the city of St. John itself. Yet this is exactly what our city leaders choose to do. Let these camps pop up randomly and push safe supply. The illusion of safe supply. They call it safe supply, but let's ask the real question. Safe for whom? While politicians and advocates sit in their comfortable offices pushing these programs, they completely ignore the massive public unsafety they bring to our doorsteps. It is not safe for the neighborhood, and it is not safe for our families. All this program does is fuel a continuous cycle of open drug use, behavior tracking, and tragic overdoses on our streets. And the worst part? They expect the average, law-abiding citizen to just put up with it. If you try to speak out, if you try to take a video, or if you expose what is actually happening, they will target you. They will try to dox you, threaten you, and make you feel unsafe in your own home. For example, a local online poster who goes by the name of Dedimus recently shared how individuals related to Avenue B and the drug community are actively trying to uncover his real identity. They want to out him to hostile groups and cause him physical harm, all because he posts the truth and shows the evidence of how safe supply and harm reduction are destroying our neighborhoods. These groups completely deny the negative impacts of their policies, and they get incredibly angry when anyone exposes the reality. When organizations like Avenue B behave this way, it creates a massive culture of fear. A lot more people in this city would stand up if they were not terrified of being targeted. But when the system and these groups protect themselves and target citizens, people are left to fend for themselves. In fact, residents have sent in hundreds of videos showing exactly what is happening on our streets, but those videos are simply not safe to share publicly. If they are posted, the people who recorded them will be easily identified, targeted, and put in direct danger. That is the level of intimidation ruling our neighborhoods right now. People have to hide the evidence just to keep themselves safe, trapped in our own homes. The reality on the ground over the last 9 months is that the boundary of private property has been completely erased. The takeover of private spaces. People are hanging out, loitering, and dealing right in our private driveways and in the parking lots directly below our windows. The toxic fumes. They are sitting there openly smoking meth and crack. Because this is happening directly under residential windows, the toxic chemical fumes drift right up into the buildings. No fresh air parents have kids in these apartments. On a hot day, you can't even open your windows to let in a breeze, because those chemical drug fumes will go right inside. Families are literally being forced to seal their homes shut just to protect their children's lungs. Terror in the night, predators, cries for help, and street brawls. The sounds and the active threats coming to local doorsteps are enough to keep anyone living in a constant state of high alert. The lure with candy. The predatory behavior is happening right outside. A resident shared a terrifying story about a creep sneaking up on her, trying to lure her by asking if she was Amber and saying he had candy. He was a random drug addict, and he was absolutely, definitely trying to lure her in. It is terrifying to think what could have happened. The distraction trap. In another incident confided by a resident, a stranger approached a woman asking if he could use her cell phone, all while mumbling something about needing Tylenol. She was actively playing on her phone, looked right at him, and told him she did not have any service. Even as he kept creeping closer and closer to close the physical distance, she did not wait around. She went straight into the house and locked the door. It is terrifying how they use these everyday excuses to try and corner people. Under attack on private property, the violence is targeting women directly. A local female resident confided in me about a terrifying night when she and another woman spotted a guy sneaking around their cars. When they asked him to leave, he got extremely violent. He started screaming at them to shut up, calling them crackheads, and yelling for his friends to back him up. As the group started coming toward them, they actually began throwing rocks at the two women. They had to run for their lives into the house and lock the door. Screams of terror. In the dead of night, the silence is regularly shattered by horrific situations. Residents have heard a woman screaming at the top of her lungs, crying out desperately because someone was trying to assault her, yelling that he tried to rape her. To hear that kind of raw terror right outside a home, knowing how volatile the streets have become, is bone-chilling. The Waterloo street brawls. The violence is spilling right into our active intersections. Right at the stop sign in front of the church on Waterloo Street, we have people actively street fighting. Chaos in the parking lots. At another location and parking lot in the area, the fighting is just as bad. In one terrifying incident, a guy was chasing another man. and they ended up flying down the hill, tumbling and rolling over one another, like a twisted, violent version of Jack and Jill. Other intense fights have broken out in that exact same parking lot as well. Total disregard for the neighborhood. There is a complete breakdown of basic order, respect, and hygiene in our shared spaces. The invasion of private property. These individuals are actively trespassing on private properties where they have absolutely no right to be. Homeowners are constantly finding strangers hiding in the corners of their yards, driveways, and doorsteps. The parking lot wardrobe. They are choosing to strip down and change their clothes wherever they feel like it, right in the open. They treat private property like a personal dressing room, leaving behind piles of dirty clothing, garbage, and biohazards for residents to clean up. Explicit public indecency. It goes far beyond littering. Residents are being subjected to disgusting, explicit adult behaviors right outside their windows, including open drug use and shocking acts of public indecency, including a man masturbating in plain view on private property. Vandalism and graffiti. Our neighborhood spaces are being marked up and ruined. Unofficial tagging and graffiti are appearing on fences, walls, and private buildings, showing a total lack of respect for the properties people work hard to maintain. Trashing the community. When harm reduction groups like Avenue B or Fresh Start hand out bottles of water or food, they completely dismiss the negative consequences of what they are doing. Those receiving these handouts will drink the water or eat the food and then just toss the garbage over their shoulders onto the grass, the sidewalk, or our driveways. There is absolutely no thought in the world of getting off their ass to go put it in a proper garbage can. The organizations enabling this do not care about the mess left behind, and they completely dismiss any neighborhood concerns. The sidewalk mess. If there is a public garbage can or bin laid out anywhere in the area, they will go right through it, pulling everything out and throwing trash all over the place. The dumpster mailroom. Even worse, we've witnessed someone climbing right inside one of the massive commercial garbage bins in the parking lot, the exact ones the dump trucks hook their arms into to lift and dump. He was sitting right inside the bin, rummaging through the trash and reading through people's personal, discarded mail. It's a terrifying hazard for the truck drivers, a massive invasion of privacy, and a graphic example of how far public safety has collapsed. The total loss of decency. We are seeing behaviors that show a complete, tragic loss of basic hygiene and self-respect. Just the other day, someone left a pair of red thong underwear lying completely exposed right next to the recycling bin. A couple of days later, we watched a random girl walk over to the garbage bins, pick up those dirty, discarded panties off the ground, and take them with her. Witnessing someone salvage dirty underwear from a public trash pile literally makes you want to puke. That is the level of decay we are forced to look at. Parenting as a security detail. Being a parent in these affected areas has become an exhausting, high-stress security job where you are forced to act as a physical shield for your kids, armed and unpredictable. This isn't just a crowd of people hanging out. Many of them are actively carrying weapons. It is terrifying to look out your window or walk down the street and see people openly carrying knives, axes, heavy metal bars, and long wooden sticks modified to be used as weapons. You have no idea what their mental state is or when they might snap. Do not look out the window. A window should be a way for a child to look at the world. Instead, parents are constantly having to tell their kids to not look out the window, trying desperately to shield them from seeing graphic, erratic, and deeply disturbing behaviors outside. Rushing for cover. You try to take your kids outside to get some fresh air or play, but the moment you see the druggies coming or people acting wild nearby, you have to pack up instantly. You have to scramble and tell the kids that you have to go inside now, trying to make up an excuse and act normal so they don't have to see what is going on. The lethal scavenger hunt. It has gotten to the point where parents have to do a high-alert sweep of their own properties before letting kids step outside. People are finding little bags of powder left right on their front steps, a bag that a curious toddler or child could easily pick up and open. Hidden traps in the grass. You can't even trust the grass or the trees. Used needles are being found hidden right beside trees and tucked into the grass. When kids are running around playing tag or looking for a lost ball, those hidden needles are ticking time bombs that a child could easily step on or pick up. The gauntlet to school. I dread seeing kids travel these streets without adult supervision. But even with adult supervision, they have to walk past people actively carrying weapons, using drugs, tweaking, and doing the fentanyl fold, completely slumped over and suspended in midair. On top of that, you have to navigate the ones who are unpredictable and violent, like a scene out of The Walking Dead. If you walk down our streets or look out the window today, it doesn't look like a functioning, civilized community. You see people laying all over the ground, whether it's in a church parking lot, flat on the sidewalk, or face down on the grass. It looks exactly like a scene straight out of The Walking Dead. And we are just supposed to accept this. Decades ago, when they shut down CenterCare, they promised us community support. Instead, they left people with severe psychiatric conditions and deep addictions to rot on our street corners. Some people might get offended when I say this, but honestly, We need to bring back center care. That is exactly what this city needs, and it is exactly what a lot of the people suffering on our streets need. They don't need a plastic tent and a safe supply of drugs to keep them trapped in a cycle of slow death. They need a secure, long-term psychiatric facility where they can actually get the intensive help they are completely incapable of seeking on their own. Leaving them on the pavement is not compassionate, it's abandonment. A lot of them simply need to go there for their own safety and ours. We don't blame the frontline police officers. They are frustrated too, having their hands tied by management, city staff, and leaders from the municipal level up to the federal government. The blame lies squarely on those in power who sit back, collect big paychecks, and watch this decline happen. We need real mental health care facilities. We need real treatment, and we need to bring back basic accountability and public safety. True compassion does not mean sacrificing our neighborhoods, our peace of mind, and the innocence of our children. Something has to change. This is the Canadian Citizens Journal.